Entrepreneurs and Small Businesses by Savannah Hires. During this presentation, we will learn how entrepreneurs and small businesses relate. In the next few slides, we'll discuss entrepreneurs, small businesses, we'll compare the similarities in the two and find the differences. Do you know what an entrepreneur is? What about entrepreneurship? In the next few slides, I'll talk to you about those. I'll give you some examples. We'll talk about financing, the failure versus success rate, and I'll also hit on a few management types. What is an entrepreneur? An entrepreneur is a person who starts a new business. They usually take on a greater than normal financial risk. This is someone who takes part in entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship is the process of planning, organizing, operating, and assuming the risk of a business venture. When you start a new business, it's important to plan your finances and choose a business structure once you figure out what kind of business you want. Alright, so let's talk about some examples of entrepreneurs. So first we have Walt Disney. Everybody knows Walt Disney because of Mickey Mouse and Disneyland. Then we have Steve Jobs. He was the co-founder of all Apple products. Apple products, I'm sure everybody knows. They made a bunch of Christmas lists this year, I can promise you. We have Bill Gates. He is very successful. He was the co-founder of Microsoft. And I also took it back to 1903. We have Henry Ford. He was the creator and entrepreneur for Ford automobiles. Financing for entrepreneurs. When you start a new business, no matter what kind of business, you've got to have financial backing. You can use your personal resources if you've got money saved up, or if you have good friends and family that have loaned you money or given you money. You can go through a lender such as a bank, an independent investor, government loans, although I will tell you it's probably a little bit harder to get a loan for a new business. You can form an alliance with a well-established company to get financial support. You can go to a venture capital company, which is a group of small investors that are seeking to make a profit on companies with rapid growth potential. That is very important, the rapid growth potential, because a small business would not be able to get a venture capital company to finance them. But we'll get into that later. Failure versus success rates. So if you look at the chart on the left, you see that the business startup ranged around 600,000 to 400,000, and the failures ranged from 500,000 to around 300,000. So it doesn't look real good. And if you look at the chart on the right, this is just showing you a few examples of why businesses fail. 46% fail from incompetence. 30% fail from lack of managerial experience. 11% fail for lack of experience. And then you have your 18% for other reasons. Management types for entrepreneurs. Management is very important when forming any kind of business. You can get management advice by forming an advisory board or going through management consultants. An advisory board is sometimes known as a board of directors. They provide you with assistance and advice about financing or exporting products, as well as knowledge on policies. If you've got a large group and can form a board of directors, they are more hands-on and they know your policies and they know what you're after. A management consultant is an expert who charges a fee to help a manager solve a problem. They may be useful when you're first starting out. That way you have a trained outlook on problems that may arise in the business later on in time. That way they can kind of train your managers. Small businesses. Do you know what a small business is? In the next few slides, I'll tell you about that. I'll also give you some examples. I'll tell you about financing and the failure versus success, and I'll give you some management types as well. Small businesses. A small business is a business that's privately owned by one individual or a small group of individuals. They have annual sales that are very low for the type of business they're in. They employ fewer than 20 people usually. According to the U.S. Census Bureau, approximately 86% of all U.S. businesses are considered small businesses. So small businesses are very important to our economy. Examples of small businesses. I'm from Thomasville, Georgia. And in Thomasville, Georgia, we have Broad Street, which is many small businesses. There's Alley B, which is a clothing boutique. It's located on Broad Street. We have Kevin's, which is an outdoor shop. They have guns and things for our South Georgia hunters. It is also located on Broad Street. There are a few restaurants, the Q Cafe, the Chop House. We've got, awesome restaurants on Broad Street that are small businesses. There's Fallon's Barbecue, which is on Pine Tree Boulevard. They serve lunch and dinner, and it's a small town business. Financing for small businesses. Just like entrepreneurs, when you start a small business, you've got to have financial backing. You can still use your personal finances. You can take the money you've saved. You can have a good family member or friend loan you the money or give you the money. You can go through a lender, such as a bank or other independent investors. But like I said before, when starting a new business, it is harder to get a loan. You can form a strategic alliance. However, for small businesses, there are a few other options. Small business investment companies or an SBA financial program. Small business investment companies are similar to venture capital companies, except that they take a more balanced approach. Venture capital companies are looking for rapid growth potential in businesses. Small businesses do not have that rapid growth potential usually. So that's when you would want a small business investment company. There's also the SBA financial programs, which offer more than 20 financing programs. Failure versus success of small businesses. According to the book, Fundamentals of Management, 8th edition, as of 2008, 7 out of 10 businesses survived at least 2 years, whereas about 49% survive 5, 34% survive at least 10, 26% survive at least 15, longer usually though, and there are a few reasons for failure, including neglect, a weak control system, and insufficient capital. Management for small businesses. Small businesses still have the choice to form an advisory board or get management consultants. There are a few more options for small businesses, though. There is the Small Business Administration, which offers 4 major management counseling programs at virtually no cost. There's also an opportunity for networking. Networking is when you get small business owners together to meet regularly with one another to discuss common problems and opportunities. Let's compare entrepreneurs and small businesses. Many people think the words entrepreneur and small businesses are interchangeable, but the truth is they're not. Yes, someone who starts a small business is still an entrepreneur, in the case that they're starting a business and taking on a greater than normal financial risk. However, not all entrepreneurs have small businesses. So let's get into the differences next. The differences between entrepreneurs and small businesses. There is one main difference between entrepreneurs or entrepreneurships and small businesses. It's how they plan on growing. If a business owner is perfectly fine with the manner that their business is going and doesn't want to engage in any growth opportunities, doesn't see itself expanding, then they would be a small business owner. And if someone sees a vision of expansion, is taking every opportunity for growth and putting themselves out there and just aiming for rapid growth, then that would be an entrepreneurship. All right, and here I've included all my references. I really hope you enjoyed the PowerPoint and learned a lot of useful information about entrepreneurs and small businesses. Thank you.